guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. And today we are going to build something really special. It's Tatooine, the desert planet from Star Wars in The Sims 4. So I will only use the base game here, plus just a tiny bit of the new Toddler Stuff Pack, which just came out yesterday. And I will also talk about the new stuff pack a little bit here in this video. But yeah, let's just first talk a little bit about why I chose Tatooine. So I always wanted to build something Star Wars related. I've watched all the movies, like the 3 old ones and the 3, episode 1 till 3, and yeah, the recent newer ones as well. But I wouldn't consider myself being a super huge Star Wars fan. Of course, I know the movies, I've played a couple of the video games. I really like the whole universe around Star Wars, like the whole creatures, the whole lore. This is something that I absolutely adore about the Star Wars franchise. The movies though, yeah, I mean, some think they are the best movies ever. I have to disagree there. But they are most certainly entertaining. And yeah, like I said, I really like the lore, and especially, of course, the set design and the costumes and everything. This whole thing about Star Wars is, for me, so cool. And this is why it's also very iconic. You know, I always love movies, even if they are shit as hell. If they have really good set design or costumes, I'm totally in. I'm sucker for this kind of stuff. Obviously, I always love to build in The Sims 4. And this is kind of like set design as well. So I always thought that Star Wars would be a great thing to rebuild. But we have the grid, the proportions aren't the same. We don't have specific things that would make it look exactly like a realistic Star Wars build is not possible. So I had to scrap my Naboo thought that I had for a while. Then I thought Tatooine would be super easy. I just put one little hut in the middle of this huge desert lot and I'm done. Which I wanted to do first, just, as an April Fool's video or something. But then, yeah, it's going to be Tatooine because it's the most easiest thing to rebuild in The Sims 4 so far, in my opinion. But yeah, if you have any other ideas, just write me in the comments down below. So this is not exactly a set, one by one transferred to The Sims 4. So I had to actually really read about it on the Wikipedia page, the fan Wikipedia page, because they're much better and have much more information about the whole lots and the whole Star Wars things. So we have 2 big cities, that's Mos Espa and Mos Eisley on the planet. And yeah, I'm not going to rebuild anything of this, but I've looked, of course, a lot of pictures and screenshots from the movies again. I also looked at a small documentary about the set design of Tatooine, especially during the first 3 movies. So the first 3 movies, Tatooine was filmed in Tunisia. And it's actually funny because there's a little village that is called Tatooine, and this is why the planet is also called Tatooine. But they haven't really filmed it in the village Tatooine in Tunisia. I think that was the story behind it, but this was the actual reason why it's called Tatooine, I've heard. I hope that's true. So yeah. Yeah, you can book your flight to Tunisia and look at the still existing set there. So they built a little set in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Is it called Sahara in English as well? I'm not sure. But yeah, there are still the sets. Of course, they're pretty run down now. But you can also watch YouTube videos of people, of course, visiting these kinds of sets. So there are some huts and some small little buildings, that exactly are the Tatooine set. Still standing there in the middle somewhere in the desert. And I found it really interesting that they really built a set because, with the newer movies, they only used green screen. And I've also read that in the newer movies, from episode 1 till 3, and then now the really newer ones, that they also used Greece and I think it was Morocco. So, but I couldn't really find the sets there, so I think maybe that is a hoax or something. I really could only find real evidence that the original 3 movies are filmed in Tunisia, and they really look like it. Of course, there are buildings in Morocco and in Greece that kind of look like Tatooine, so I think maybe they filmed it and then with special effects, like turned it into the movie in the background or something. But yeah, we are going with the roundish huts. So they usually have this round-shaped huts with a dome-shaped roof on it. And we don't have a circular roof, like a round roof directly, that the ground shape is a roof. And that was kind of a problem, so I had to, add some things to make it work, to make it look a little bit more rounder than it actually is in The Sims 4. But hey, I've heard that with the cats and dogs stuff, no, not stuff pack, the gameplay pack for The Sims 4, which comes out in November, I've heard that we get octagonal roofs, so that would be easier to make like a round shape then as well. So yeah, I thought I really wanted to do something with this round little huts, but something that could be like a little outpost with a market. I always wanted to do a market, like a huge park that all your Sims can use as a community lot. And I really like that idea to make like a market. Of course, since I only use the base game here, like mostly, you can't really buy something there, but hey, you can use it and maybe even put it in your inventory. Like, let's just say you can steal there, which is also kind of suiting for Tatooine, since like a smuggler, ball pit of criminals, I guess. And I really like that idea to do something like this, like with a little market with lots and lots of rocket ships lying around and lots of technical stuff all around it, but it has this Tunisian, Moroccan, like Northern African, Arabian style somehow, which makes it easier because I already have built something kinda Oriental Arabian, because the shapes of these houses are kinda the same. Especially the roofs are very distinctive with the round roofs and everything. And then you just add something more technical onto it, which kinda is a little bit weird at first to do, but yeah, it does the stuff. I don't know what to call it, but it's really cool to build something like it. It was kinda inspiring to look at all the set design for the Star Wars movies, especially Tatooine, because yeah, I already think it's like a very iconic set somehow. I mean, people see Tatooine and they know that's Star Wars somehow. I even think the Disneyland, is it Disney? Yeah, Disney has the rights to Star Wars now, yeah. And they are building like a extra, I don't know in which kind of their theme parks, but in one of their theme parks they are building a Star Wars world, like a little, I don't know what to call it, like a little section of their park is Star Wars. And I've looked at some of the concept arts for that, especially for that build here, and it's Tatooine. Who would have thought? Because yeah, that's the most Star Wars thing to see, I guess, because it's hard to do Naboo. In my opinion, Naboo looks more like an Oriental palace, and they even have the influences of the South Spanish and also again Northern African influences from the old times, because south of Spain, where I am right now, has been occupied by the Moors, I guess you call them in English. But yeah, so the influences sometimes is a little bit more Arabian, or that has this Arabian connotation for some people. And yeah, it's a really nice mix. And Tatooine is a little bit more plain, so I couldn't use so much more textures. But basically the shapes and everything are kind of the same somehow, like for the houses and everything. Like the ground shapes, architectural shapes that are used in Naboo and Tatooine are the same, just that Tatooine as a desert planet is pretty plain. Of course, there usually isn't like lying around so much stuff like I did here. This is like my Sims 4 version to make it more interesting. Usually there wouldn't be like so much stuff in one place, I guess, for a desert planet with the sandstorms and everything, I know. But yeah, it has to be like a little market. Also, the Sims 4 lot, this one is like the biggest in Oasis Springs, by the way, if you have been asking yourself. And there are like these huge rock formations all around it, so it's kind of maybe a little bit protected against sandstorms and storms like all over, so they can put a little bit more stuff outside without it getting destroyed. And yeah, I really like that Tatooine is like more of the, I would say, sleek down, very plain looking. And you could easily do this here, put some color in it and more decorations, and you have kind of something that looks like Naboo. Also for Naboo you can use trees and water, which was just not possible here. And that was like a huge fault that I did first, because I used wooden textures here sometimes on the windows and on the doors and some decorations, and for example the railings of the hall walls and everything. And I used the wooden texture here, like wooden brownish textures. And then I realized they don't have any wood, like any trees or forest on the planet. At least that's not what it says on the Wikipedia, like Wikipedia I think it's called. That there is no forest whatsoever. It's like all around the desert planet, so nothing is really growing there. So I thought, where would they really have like that wood? It's like, doesn't make sense. So I changed everything to white or sandy colors to make it look as if it's like made out of, I don't know, like some kind of plastic or metal maybe. But yeah, they don't have any wood on Tatooine, so they can't use any wood in their architecture. But yeah, I was really happy that I came up with that. That is like little fault that I did there. So yeah, this is my Tatooine build. So there's like kind of a bigger palace where your Sims can also sleep. There are 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms here. There is a bar. There are some market stands where your Sims can buy stuff. They can simply like drag some of the stuff into their inventory. And yeah, just like overall explore the whole lot. I think you can do a lot of things there. I mean, there are some video games you can play. Your Sims can even eat there because there's a grill station and some, you know, like a bar and like something to sit on. So yeah, let me talk a little bit about the new Toddler Stuff Pack, which came out yesterday. So I didn't have like a release code or something that I get it like much more early. You know it, guys, so this is why you get the build now, which is, I think, a little like a pretty great deal to have like one day later, like a little review. So let me give you also a little review about the Toddler Stuff Pack. It came out yesterday. It's a stuff pack, so it's the smallest kind of stuff adding pack to your Sims 4 game. It's about 10 euros or $10 respectively on your origin platform. And yeah, like every stuff pack, I think it's kinda unnecessary, like every stuff pack. Like if you are really into the theme of a certain stuff pack, then of course I highly recommend you to get it, you know, have fun with it. But I think stuff packs are just, you know, if you really are into the theme, that's something maybe for you. But there will be some stuff packs that you won't like, especially me. I am much more of a builder, and some stuff packs just are a little bit too weird in my opinion and wouldn't have fancied me in any way if I wouldn't have that YouTube channel here to just review it. And the Toddler Stuff Pack sadly is one of that. So I will tell you about like my point of view that I have about toddlers in general in The Sims 4. So I'm more of a Sims builder. Everything I do in The Sims is like 98% building. And 2% is playing The Sims, but just as testing the houses, just to see if they can sleep in the bed, get to this little hut here, is something standing in the way, how's it looking like at daylight and while the camera moves and everything like that. This is how I play The Sims, so it's only building. Sometimes I even do Sims, or I create Sims, but I'm not into gameplay. So toddlers or children in general, I know that lots and lots of people were like really angry that we didn't get the toddlers like right away with the release. And then they patched in the toddlers, and I'm really happy for you guys that you finally got your toddlers. They're really cute. I did a video about them. I really like them. It's like they have super cute animations. And I'm pretty sure that people who like to play the game with families and like parental legacies and everything like that, they are pretty like crazy about this stuff. I can totally relate to that somehow. But for me personally, of course, toddlers, child and teens are the most annoying Sims ever. Sims for me in general are very annoying to play with, like the adults. And now we get like lots and lots of different kind of children, which is of course nice for other people, and I totally can understand that they want that. But for me, I never play with children, so I'm not that experienced with what I really want for the children, you know what I mean? So I will only tell you about the building aspect of the whole stuff pack right now. And this is like I guess you can already see from the long intro that it's going to be really hard on the people who like the stuff pack, because I don't like it. Sadly, it's on my last list. Like, from all the stuff packs, I think it's the worst one, to be honest, because I can only talk about the little building objects or build and buy mode objects. So first of all, we don't get any wallpaper, any windows, any doors. We don't get anything that you can add to your house especially. And the objects are mostly very colorful, super cute. I really have to say they are really, really detailed, and I really like them. They really look fabulous. Like, the team did a great job on the objects, how they look like. They are not really my style. I mean, I will use some of them in my hippie and more, you know, uplifting bohemian builds, which I really like to do, but it's very childish. Sometimes the textures are very childish and not very adult. Of course, it's a toddler stuff pack, so that makes sense. So the versatility, yeah. I mean, the occasions that you can use these kinds of objects is very, very low. So there is the ball pit, and there's like the playground, a huge playground stuff. So it's all around the playground. It's more of an outdoor pack for little toddlers that you can make a playground with. And the playground stuff is really cute, and the animations are really cute. But since I don't play with my Sims, and especially never ever with toddlers, I kind of just have to look at the objects as they are. And I'm only going to build like one playground maybe, or two, but that's maybe it in my like Sims 4 building inspiration, motivation for little children. I mean, you can use it for a school backyard or something like that, or maybe if you build a park, you can maybe, you know, step up your playground game as a builder, but that's basically it. That's there for somehow. So the stuff pack, in my opinion, is the weakest one for builders. There's only two things that I absolutely love about the pack. Like, these are the two objects that I use the most, or will use the most in my opinion. You can see it here. So it's sail shades that come in various colors. Also, there are more monochrome color swatches of it. And then there are these 3 pillows that you can place somewhere, and your Sims can even sit on these pillows. And there's like lots and lots of color variations there too, and I really like them. So these are very, very versatile, I would say, objects. And then there is this little cart with a cooler on it, which is really practical in my opinion for gameplay, because we only had the coolers with the outdoor retreat pack. And I really like them because children can use them and like fetch themselves some drinks and everything, which is also really cool, you know, just like a small little fridge option to have. So I thought that's like more of a practical thing to have or to add in general. Every object is really, really cute. There has been like a huge talk about the ball pit not looking really nicely, but like honestly, I'm not going to rant about like a virtual small ball pit in a game. Like, honestly, I'm really sorry, but I think that the developers, like always, did great on all the objects. They are very, very detailed. If you only have the Sims 4 base game, the objects in the base game aren't as detailed as the ones that you get with every stuff pack. So that's always a plus. They have so much more thought, so much more detail on these objects, and I really, really like that idea. And if you really like toddlers and cute, fun, colory things and playgrounds, especially because it's like more of an outdoor playground pack, then this is the pack for you. If you are more into building and you don't like building very colorful playgrounds, then I think you might not need this pack. Because like I said, every stuff pack is just like a bigger, like has this bigger theme. And if you're into that theme, of course, get it. I mean, why not? If you are not into that theme, then, well, I don't see why you should get it then. You know, just wait for the next bigger gameplay pack, or maybe the other theme of the stuff pack or something like that. But I think they did like a good job. I think that people who really like to play with toddlers, that they really like the pack, that they are going to like the pack. Also, there are much more chaos options, like create a sim options for the toddlers. They get new hairs, really cute clothing, and I think people who really hate on this stuff pack, I think they have like a heart of stone or something, but because it's really cute. Like the toddlers hands down are like the cutest ever, I have to admit, but I'm still not going to play with them because like the whole gameplay is just so annoying for me in Sims 4. But I really love building, so hey, if you are like me, more of a builder, then I think that this pack is like not the best pack out there. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed my Tatooine here. So if you want to download this, the download link is in the video description down below, because I've uploaded it to the Sims 4 gallery, of course. If you only have the base game, this is totally fine. You will only have the problem that the sail shades are going to be away or like not on your lot, and the playground thing is from the toddlers that are in the middle sometimes. So I don't think that it will look so super differently for you. Just check it out and place it in your game and let me know. And yeah, I really hope that you like my little Tatooine builds. Please, please, please write me in the comments what I have to build next for you guys. Maybe I told you something wrong, maybe you're like a super huge Star Wars fan and I said something wrong here about Tatooine and where it comes from and the set design and everything, then please write it down in the comments and we have a little talk about it and, you know, clear things up in the comment section. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you liked this lot, guys. Or maybe my side of the review of the toddler stuff pack was like interesting for you. But yeah, like always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.